I use that title in the thumbnail because that's the title of the message that I received on this date, 2020. And for 5 years, I've been having a lot of resistance and a lot of reckoning because I've been hiding and holding myself back and everyone else too. When you develop an ability or different skill or talent, you don't want to be judged. You don't even want people to see it sometimes. But then you know that it could help so many people, and so you have this thing you'll move through. Do I accept myself, and do I am I willing to be seen? Am I willing to come out of my shell? And sometimes you have to, and that's what I'm doing now. It is December 23rd of 2025, and so I'll read the message to you. And if you don't know me, I'm Roger Burnley, and I've been a coach for a long time, but the thing that I was also doing was being a receiver of information from Wilhelm, and it was meant to help change your life and our world. But I keep holding back because people aren't going to believe it. You're not going to believe how I did this. You won't believe how I healed. You won't believe a lot of things. And then I keep suffering, and so do so many other people, because I'm waiting for everyone to believe. And for most people, that's not going to happen because no one's ever done this before. And I just have to admit this and give you the message. And it is this. December 23rd, 2020. The reckoning you have sought was within you. This message will be one of our best and the most transparent. When we make these statements at the beginning of a message, we do so because we know how much Roger allows himself to receive. That clever sentence is one you would do well to remember. Last night, after Roger finished what he called his ugly cry after watching a television show, he was struck by the release of the energy of the tears. Yes, your tears serve a purpose, and it is always a release of energy in some form. Roger knew that for him, this was an indication of a release of a previous resistance. You are all doing this now, which is why we have spoken of the restructuring in recent conjunction. None of these things are occurring arbitrarily. The synchronization of the events was not accidental, just as it was not accidental that you decided to be alive at this time. Before Roger went to bed, he went to his computer and looked at his online program, which his associates had been diligently assembling, and Roger felt somehow he was not living up to his end of the bargain and felt guilt. The guilt was purposeful for him, for it has existed for eons to allow him to be in this place now. The same may be true for you, and you weren't aware of it until now. Roger then sent an email to his associates as both an apology and an acknowledgement. Roger saw before him the manifestation of what he had seen in his associate before it was materialized. That is the challenge you all have. Now we will tell you why. We awakened Roger in the middle of the night and magically had him watch the end of a documentary on the current president-elect of the United States. We told you some time ago that the U.S. would lead this restructuring, which is making sense to Roger now. Roger saw what has waited for his entire existence, and it was an open display of empathy. One announcer said that Joe Biden's superpower was his empathy. It has been Roger's, but he needed to see it displayed in another before accepting it himself. Roger also knew that was the job he signed up for, but had neglected. Then we kept sending the word reckoning to Roger. We told him to look it up, and he found the definition we wanted, which was the one, a personal belief or judgment that is not founded on proof or certainty. Then Roger wondered if we had given him a message like that before. He went to the site and found a message with that word, but we told him not to read it then, but paste it at the end of this one, for it will be more impactful for him and you. Most of you do not believe the ideas you have held about who you could be, and maybe this will help. At Roger's request, we must say we apologize for the length of this message, but most of you have more time on your hands now. Remember, you will be fine. May 25th, 2015. Reckoning, reconciliation, and finally acceptance. This can be thought of as a process that you follow during your physical life experience to come to full ownership of who you are, and thus facilitate your expansion. The first part is the reckoning. You often attempt to ignore or pretend that certain aspects of you or your personality do not exist. The next step then is reconciliation. This means that you acknowledge all those things and begin not only to own them, but also find their value and purpose, not only for you, but all others in your world. Then the final step is acceptance. You come to own every part of you proudly, and then almost miraculously discover the perfection, beauty, and wonder of all you are. That indeed is a cause for celebration. And what they were pointing out is that I downloaded this information. This is why I healed. This is why I knew what was happening in our world. That's why it's been so challenging for me to bring it forth and tell others, because we have to jump over that lack of belief that we have, because it's all in consciousness. I've done this for 36 years. And this is why I say I know that no one needs to struggle or suffer, except I struggle because I hide, just like you might. But when you discover something that no one else has done, it's really challenging. We're all doing something no one has done. But this was revolutionary, and this is called the Wilhelm phenomenon, and me to talk about that didn't make sense to anyone. When you sit and know that you're holding the thing that could cause any person to become who they could be, and the only problem is resistance, and it's been mine as well, so I do understand. But I was told that I had this information. Everything that's happening in the world right now isn't accidental. All this information came through. This is why I'm changing. Years ago, people said, Roger, you should be charging $5,000 for this work or so much more, and I couldn't do that. That's my generational programming as well, so that's why I'm changing. I had that one offer, but I have to do something else, because I have to go with people who will accept something they've never seen, because I had to accept it. I've done that. It didn't make sense that I'd be 75 and everything would be healed. I can't get people to understand that, but I do know that it's all alignment, and I know anyone could do it if they chose to. Thank you for listening. I'll see you real soon.